NotebookLM have a brand new audio overviews feature that's now available in 50 languages. Now, this basically allows you to translate NotebookLM into multiple languages. There's tons of other stuff you can do with this, but it is a super powerful way to create and automate and even learn in different languages. Now, if you want to set this up, you just go to settings, output language, and then select your favorite language like this. So you can now use NotebookLM in multiple languages. We'll run through exactly how to use it because it's a very powerful tool. This literally just came out a few hours ago. So if you want to learn how to do this stuff, you can check it out on Google and their update right here, but I'll be running you through it today as well. So if you want to get access, this is free to use and it is a really powerful tool. It's powered by Gemini 2.0, which is an older model, but it's still super powerful. And essentially what you can do is you can use this for learning and uploading like your own resources, so PDFs, websites, YouTube videos, audio files, Google Docs, etc. You can also get like instant insights and you can see the source, not just the answer. But the other cool thing here is you can create new audio overviews, right? So you can deep dive into subjects and then you can actually get an AI to talk through what you're trying to learn about, right? And it simplifies it. So it's one of the most powerful learning opportunities right now, and it's completely free. So if you want to get access to this, you can get access at notebooklm.com. And then inside here, we can start using NotebookLM. Now use the foreign language option. Just go to your settings in the top right. Then you're going to click on output language. And then from here, you can select your default language, right? So for example, we could put this in Spanish and then start using Spanish as our main language for outputs. So if we go to create new, we can now upload a source and you can choose between like Google Docs, Google Slides, website, YouTube, or you can just copy and paste text, right? And you can see here, you can actually load in 300 different sources, which is absolutely insane. If you're trying to learn anything, then this is one of the best ways to do it, all right? So let's keep going now. And essentially the way that you can upload a file, let's say, for example, I want to learn something about, I don't know, Quen 3. I'll take an example YouTube video for myself yesterday that we can use for doing this. So let's go over to the Quen 3 video right here. We'll copy that URL. And then if we go back into NotebookLM over here, we can then load that inside the YouTube section. So we just paste in the YouTube URL. If we insert that, what that's going to do is then load up the new source. And the beautiful thing about this being built by Google is that it's plugged into YouTube. It can fetch data really easily. And then you can use this as an easy way to learn stuff, right? This is your own sort of personalized learning dashboard. Now, you can see here with the new feature, with the new update, we've got the output language in Spanish over here. We can change that if we want to as well. So we can go back to the output language section over here and then switch that back to like default, hit save. And then if we go back here, create new again, plug in the source, that should switch back to English, hopefully. Let's see. There we go, right? Now, one of the most powerful ways I think to use NotebookLM is to actually generate a deep dive conversation. So what this is going to do is it's going to create a conversation between two different AIs that discuss the topic you're actually learning about, right? So for example, you can have two hosts break down the topic that you're trying to learn about or all the different sources for the topic, and then use that to start learning stuff. So for example, if we wanted to learn about Quen 3, we could take all the videos from Quen 3. If we just go into YouTube here and then type in Quen 3, we can take all the sources, like you can see from the list here, and then plug that into NotebookLM. So from here, we can then click on customize, and we can actually edit the things for the host to focus on before we generate the response, right? So I can say, for example, okay, focus on, and I'm seeing this all the time inside the YouTube comments, so I'm just trying to focus this on something that'll be useful for you. But we can say, for example, focus on actionable use cases for Quen, right? And you could be, let's say you're an SEO agency, right? SEO link building agency. So come up with practical ways to use this, plus break this down at a third grade reading level, right? Just to simplify the topics and that sort of thing. So we can then hit generate, and that's going to generate an audio overview between the two hosts inside NotebookLM. And this is completely free to use, right? I am on the Plus plan, but you can use this for free as well. And it's a really powerful tool. I would say it's one of the best tools out there, but also one of the most underrated. Now, what you can also do here is inside this section, you'll see a breakdown of your video, and you can actually train this chatbot on the stuff that you're trying to learn about. So for example, if I go inside the chat here and I'm like, okay, how does Qwen 3 compare to other models? And it's basically a chatbot that's custom trained on the transcripts from this YouTube video. Now, why is that important? You can use something like ChatGPT, but it doesn't have the context that something like this does, right? This is an actual learning tool that can look through your data and then figure stuff out for you. So let's see what it comes back with. And now you can see it's actually given us an answer, and it's really in-depth and comprehensive. That is super deep. Look at all the sources, look at all the information, etc. As you can see right here, it's reference to sources inside the text. And it's based on the sources provided. Here's a comparison of Qwen 3 to other models. Blah, blah, blah. It breaks it down. Chinese model. Here's the context. Here's the tokens, etc. Now let's look at other models. And it shows the benchmarks. Then it also compares it versus DeepSeek, Qwen 2.5, capabilities. And also it points out the unique features about this. So for example, like Qwen 3, it can do image generation. It can do video generation. It's got agentic capabilities with MCPs. You can see here as well, I know this is taken directly from my video because I remember saying this. So you can see it's broken down the UI design section here, and it said, in coding tasks, the source found the UI produced by Qwen to be typically trash or very basic compared to other models, particularly Claude, right? So it's basically taken the key unique parts from my video, broken that down into steps, and then gone, right, here's the differences between these, right? You could use this to train new starters in a company to understand technical language as part of a learning curve. Absolutely. So let's try that. Let's try that live right now. So for example, if we go to create new over here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to YouTube, take a video, and I'm going to go inside the SEO Elite Circle, right? And I'm just going to grab a video from the SEO Elite Circle and use that to train the AI. So for example, if we go down the list here and I'm like, okay, here's how to figure out how many backlinks you need. So I'm going to edit that. We're going to copy that video. This is something that I train my sales reps on, how to figure out how to use Ahrefs and stuff like that. I'm going to paste that inside the section here. We're going to insert that as a source. And let's just have a look here. We're going to take one that's probably more publicly available. So I'm just going to go inside YouTube and type in, I don't know, Julian Goldie link building, right? Something like that. And then we'll grab an example video like so. We'll use that as a source. I think this is because it's listed as unlisted, so I'm going to remove that source. That's probably why I didn't feed it in. We'll add a different source here. We'll plug in the YouTube video, and any sort of recipes or training videos or even training documents that you have, you could use this to generate a training AI that people can learn from. So for example, if I go inside the start typing section here, I'll say, okay, what's the best way to build backlinks? And it should use the sources from the video to figure that out. So let's see what it comes back with now. You've also got this discover section here. Now this helps you discover new sources that you could use inside training the AI, which means that you get more varied sources instead of everything just being from one place, right? And so you can see here, based on what we talked about, and this was a conversation between myself, Carl Hudson, and James Dooley inside this video, it's figured out, okay, right, here's the core strategies and approaches. It's best to use a various mix of link building. So for example, niche edits, link inserts, digital PR, etc. Sometimes you're going to do reciprocal PR link building. Sometimes you're going to do reverse engineering competitors or just building relationships. Great way to build backlinks. And so it's taking all the information from that video and then use that to train the AI, which then in turn you can automate for the training of your team and your sales reps and everything else, right? And it becomes super, super powerful because it's all based on customized information to you. Now, if we go back here to our homepage, what you can see is all the previous conversations we've had. So for example, that one in Spanish, or even for example, this one in Qwen 3. Now, if we go inside here, we can generate and play this right here. And we can also use the interactive mode to engage with the AI when we're getting responses. So for example, if we play this out now.
Hey there, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we've got some pretty exciting news. There's this brand new AI model out.
Oh yeah, what's the scoop?
It's from Alibaba called Qwen 3, and get this, it's free to use. Could be a real game changer for how you work.
Interesting.
So you can see here how the podcasts are going back and forth. The two AI hosts just figures out everything to talk about. You can see this is 14 minutes long. So it's broken down all the core concepts from the podcast and then turn that into something that's more condensed and more useful, right? Now, the other thing here as well is you can now go to interactive mode. So if we go to interactive mode over here, what we can actually do is we can interact with the hosts and we can join the conversation. So if we hit play now.
Hey there, and welcome back to the deep dive. Today,
Oh, wait. Who wants to join?
See,
Go for it.
so I want to ask you, like, what's the best way to use Qwen 3?
that's a fantastic question.
It really gets to the heart of why we're talking.
Okay, let's unpack this. Based on what we've seen, there isn't one single best way.
It really depends on what you're trying to achieve.
Exactly. For just getting a feel for it, the simplest way is through their chat interface at chat.qwen.ai.
It's just like using any other chatbot. You can ask it.
So you can see here how you can join the conversation, then you can ask questions, and it's really simple and easy to use. And then you can interact with the AI and you can ask any questions in real time. Plus, based on those answers, you can ask more questions and just use it as a super powerful learning process. Not just for you, but for your team. It's a great, powerful way to train your team, right? Now, what you can also do is you can share this. So if we click on share in the top right over here, we can now share this with other people. So if we click on copy link over here, we can copy this link and we should be able to share this with other people. I just want to check in the incognito if that actually works. So I think you'd have to log in, but it should be okay. So if we go, yeah, so you can actually add like people's email addresses here. So if I put in Vic, we've got vic@juliangolden.com and they can just join. It's kind of like a Google Doc when you share access to a Google Doc or something like that, right? So if we X off there now, let's go back. And what we can actually do in here is we can generate a Spanish breakdown in AI of the source that we've created inside NotebookLM. So let's check this out right now. We're just waiting for that to generate right here. It's generating the conversation. We can also create like a study guide, FAQs, briefing doc, or timeline as well. And we can generate a mind map. So if we click on mind map over here, it's going to start generating a mind map of the content we've created. Why is that useful? Because then we can break stuff down. Like, for example, if you have a piece of code, you can generate a mind map like you can see right here. It'll just break it down into, for example, you know, exactly how to use Qwen 3 and then how to run it locally. And then you can see it recommends using Olama. And then if we click on that, it says download the model. Make sure you have the RAM. Then work offline. It's private. And you just restart Olama if you have any issues, right? Or you can use LM Studio, right? And what's pretty amazing about this is like inside the interface, using that mind map tool, you can then break down core concepts and just delve really deep into exactly what you want. We've also got the study guide. So if we click on study guide over here, it's going to open up new stuff. We've got FAQs as well. We can create a briefing document and also a timeline. And basically every way you can imagine of learning is all generated directly in here. It's absolutely wild. So we've got this study and analysis guide right here. It actually creates a guide with a quiz. And then we've got the answers and essay questions and everything else. Right, so it creates, okay, here's how you can study based on the questions. For example, what company is responsible for developing the Qwen 3 AI model? That would be, of course, Alibaba, right? And so someone studying this might want to know that. And so it creates a bunch of questions you can quiz yourself on to get better responses. That's essentially it. So it is generating, it's taking quite a while to generate the audio right here. You can also check the analytics. So you can click on analytics and see if you've shared this with other people, who's been interacting with it over the last 7 days, which is great because then you see are people actually using it. And then let's have a look at this. So the way that we want to do this, first of all, is to use a new update. Just make sure that your output language is in the right thing. So for example, we select Afrikaans right there. We'll delete that. And then we would just generate using the output language Afrikaans, right? So if we click on generate over here, we should be able to do this right now. And that's basically it for the update, all right? So thanks so much for watching. If you want to get access to all my best workflows, tips, templates, tutorials, plus an amazing community of people focused on making money and growing their business with AI, feel free to get the AI Profit Boardroom. This is an amazing community of 645 members focused on growing and building stuff with AI. Additionally, inside here, you get access to all my best courses, workflows, AI agents, etc. And if you search in here, you actually see a bunch of training on NotebookLM as well. Plus, we'll add the SOP directly from today, so you can get like breakdown step by step of exactly how to use NotebookLM in a standard operating procedure. And if we go inside the SOP section over here, you'll see all of these different SOPs for new tools. And this is just from April. It's absolutely wild what's happened over the last month. For example, like Lutra, Qwen3, Sooner, Trait AI, etc. If you just want to learn, and if you want actionable use cases for using AI, then feel free to get that. Additionally, you can post inside the AI Profit Boardroom community if you have any questions and you're struggling with anything. So thanks so much for watching. And additionally, if you want to get a free one-to-one SEO strategy session, feel free to get that link in the comments description. We'll show you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 visitors this month and generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales on autopilot. On this free link building acceleration session, you'll get everything you need as a custom tailored game plan to grow your business with SEO. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.